And there is breaking news tonight from Minnesota, where Derek Chauvin's lawyer has filed a motion for a new trial in the murder of George Floyd.
Let the post-verdict Derek Chauvin shenanigans begin. The former Minneapolis police officer who murdered George Floyd has filed a motion for a new trial. And you'd not believe what he's arguing. Welcome into TYT Overruled. I am Adrienne Lawrence. Derek Chauvin has requested a new trial on 3 grounds: failure to change venue, failure to sequester the jury, and good old-fashioned juror misconduct. The first 2 will fail without question. The entire world was watching Derek Chauvin's murderous kneel. He couldn't have moved the trial elsewhere, and no one have known about his murder of George Floyd. And second, sequestering the jury after nearby police murdered 20-year-old Daunte Wright likely would not have changed the verdict or influenced the jury too. Minneapolis is among the top major cities with the greatest disparity between black and white people being killed by police. So the reality is that a police officer could have killed another black person any day of the week. That being said, let's focus on the meat of the argument. Chauvin's claiming that he deserves a new trial because of alleged juror misconduct. Now, that juror is a man named Brandon Mitchell. The controversy started when this photo surfaced. It's a photo of Mitchell at the March on Washington last August in 2020. That march included speeches from Floyd's family members, albeit we were told those speeches were short. But in his juror questionnaire, Mitchell said that he'd not attended any protests over police brutality. So let's look at that questionnaire. The question was, did you or someone close to you participate in any of the demonstrations or marches against police brutality that took place in Minneapolis after George Floyd's death? Yes, me. Yes, someone close to me. Or no. If you participated, explain how much you were involved. Mitchell explained that he was at the march to support voter turnout for the 2020 presidential election, not to protest police brutality. He also answered the question on Black Lives Matter, saying, "Black lives just want to be treated as equals and not killed or treated in an aggressive manner, simply because they are black." And I kind of think that sounds like facts. So here's my analysis. Assuming Mitchell answered the questionnaire just as he stated, it'd really be on Chauvin's attorneys to have vetted him further. That means they should have asked him if he attended a rally in Minneapolis or in any other city like the March on Washington in D.C., or where Floyd's family spoke, or something on police brutality. Chauvin's lawyers played a role in writing that jury questionnaire. Whether it was poorly written is on them. Said another way, Mitchell simply answered what was asked of him. If, however, Chauvin's attorneys did vet Mitchell beyond that questionnaire and Mitchell didn't answer that vetting accurately, then this may be a viable issue that could warrant a new trial. But would the judge grant it? I don't think that the presiding judge, Peter Cahill, would grant the new motion, and this is why. A pivotal motion like this one for a new trial in a controversial case could end Cahill's career in Minneapolis. The judge may be a 14-year veteran on the bench in Hennepin County, but he's still in an elected position, and he may not want to not have a job when his term is up. The fact that the jury convicted Chauvin on all 3 charges really speaks to the fact that we, the people of Minnesota, really want to ensure Chauvin serves time. So, even if the judge thinks there are possible grounds for a new trial, I think he'll leave it up to the Court of Appeals to grant Chauvin that new trial. That's not to say that Judge Cahill will not have a thoughtful ruling on the motion. Remember, he's already been reversed once by the Minnesota Court of Appeals in this case. That was for the decision that third-degree murder charge did not apply here. That happens to be something that I agree with the judge on, but here's where we are. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm sure Judge Cahill's true focus right now is on sentencing Chauvin. He's facing up to 40 years in prison. The judge is a former public defender, and he's been known to throw the book at people. In 2019, Judge Cahill gave a sexually abusing ice skating coach 24 years in prison. That was near the max sentence, even though the guy was remorseful. In 2016, Cahill sentenced a man who killed 3 people when he was 16 to 90 years in prison. Cahill may have appeared to be pro-Chauvin during the trial, but if his track record suggests anything, he didn't come to play. All I can say is good luck, Mr. Chauvin.